The U.S. has just lost an MQ-9 drone over the Black Sea. Was it shot down by the Russians? In what could be a new escalation in the Ukraine war, news sites are saying that a Russian SU27 flanker fighter plane took down an MQ-9 drone over the Black Sea. According to the U.S. Air Force, the drone crashed as a result of being intercepted and brought down by a Russian Su-27. The incident occurred in the early hours of Tuesday morning as a result of what appears as a reckless and unprofessional intercept by a pair of Russian jets in international airspace. Initial reports from U.S. Europe Command stated that they are investigating whether the Reaper drone was shot down. According to a U.S. Air Force statement that followed a few hours later, the Russian Su-27 aircraft damaged the MQ-9's propeller, forcing American forces to put the MQ-9 down in international waters. According to officials, the Russian fighter jet dumped gasoline on and flew in front of the Reaper drone in a reckless, environmentally unsound, and unprofessional manner minutes before the crash. It did not appear to be a premeditated attempt to bring down the drone. Nonetheless, a collision occurred. The Russian flanker fighter was apparently damaged, but it looked to be able to return to a base in Crimea. Since before the commencement of the Ukraine crisis, US and NATO jets have been routinely operating in the Black Sea, conducting surveillance operations. This episode marks a significant escalation of hostilities between NATO and Russia. Nonetheless, comparable instances have occurred in the past, albeit without such a dramatic conclusion. This incident followed a pattern of unsafe behavior by Russian pilots while interacting with U.S. and Allied Air Force aircraft over international airspace, including the Black Sea. According to U.S. Air Force experts, Russia's aggressive tactics are risky and could lead to miscalculation and unintended escalation. The Russians, on the other hand, dismissed the notion that a collision had occurred, as declared in an official statement from the Ministry of Defense. The flight of the unmanned aerial vehicle was conducted with transponders turned off in violation of the boundaries of the area of the temporary regime for the use of airspace established for the purpose of conducting a special military operation brought to all users of international airspace and published in accordance with international standards, thus implying that the U.S. reconnaissance drone was violating airspace under Russian control. To identify the invader, fighters from the air defense units on duty were raised into the air. The MQ-9 unmanned aerial vehicle went into uncontrolled flight with a loss of altitude and collided with the ocean surface as a result of abrupt maneuvering, the statement concludes. The Russians reported that the fighters did not use any weapons, did not collide with the unmanned aerial vehicle, and returned safely to their base airfield following the incident. According to NATO officials, there has been an increase in unprofessional behavior from Russian fighter pilots in confrontation with NATO jets, both over the Black Sea and in the Baltics and elsewhere. The British Royal Air Force began utilizing fighter escorts such as the Eurofighter Typhoon attached to intelligence planes such as the RC-135 Rivet Joint last autumn. The question now is whether we'll also see the Americans and other NATO nations flying fighter jets closer to Ukraine and Crimea in an escort role to fend off Russian jets attempting to intercept NATO aircraft. The MQ-9 Reaper is an unmanned aerial vehicle long-endurance drone with offensive capabilities. The Reaper is designed to operate in all weather conditions, day or night, and can fly up to 50,000 feet above sea level. It has a range of up to 1,850 nautical miles and can stay in the air for up to 27 hours, making it an ideal platform for long-range surveillance and strike operations. The capacity of the MQ-9 Reaper to carry a variety of weaponry is one of its primary characteristics, but we assume the drones patrolling over the Black Sea are unarmed. The Reaper is fit to carry out intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions. It can collect and analyze data from numerous sources, including its own sensors, and deliver real-time situational awareness to ground forces. Its powerful sensor suite includes a multi-node radar that can identify and track moving targets on the ground, as well as a high-resolution electro-optical/infrared camera that can offer real-time video footage of the target area. The jets that intercepted and reportedly damaged the U.S. Reaper drone were Sukhoi-27 flankers, a jet created in the late 1970s to compete with the American F-15 Eagle, and has since become a famous aircraft in its own right. It is a twin-engine, twin-tail, single-seat fighter with a top speed of 2,500 kilometers per hour. The Su-27 is primarily deployed as an air superiority fighter, which means that its primary mission is to maintain control of the airspace and engage opposing aircraft. It boasts a tremendous arsenal of weaponry and sensors, making it a deadly opponent in air-to-air combat. The Su-27 can carry up to 8 air-to-air missiles, including the long-range R-27 and the short-range R-73. It also has a gun and can carry bombs and rockets for ground strike missions. The Su-27 relies on its relatively advanced avionics system, depending on the model of the jet. It has a strong radar and can detect and track several objects at long distances. It also possesses an infrared search and track system, which allows the pilot to detect and track objects without utilizing radar, making it more difficult for the opponent to detect the Su-27. The Russian Air Force, known as the VKS, has thus far been plagued by command and control issues and has performed below expectations in the Ukraine war. Do you think this will escalate the situation between NATO and Russia over Ukraine? Let us know in the comments below.